Hoenn is, hands down, one of the best regions in the Pokemon franchise. But dude, have you ever stopped to think about what's actually wrong with the gym leaders in this region? So in this video, I want to point out every single flaw and make them even stronger. Honestly, in these games, the leaders are actually a bit better than in other regions. When I was a kid, it was the hardest game of my life. I remember starting with Blaziken, and when I got to Winona, she beat me so bad that I gave up on Pokemon for a week. So if you're a ride or die subscriber here on the channel, drop a like right now. If not, wait until the end of the video to see if it's worth it. Roxanne. Man, as per the standard here on the channel, I'm totally against gym leaders who use only a few Pokemon on their team. Another annoying thing for me is when we're in a new region and the leader's first Pokemon is a Geodude. Come on bro, this guy is from 2 generations ago. Let's do better. Keep in mind I'm using Pokemon Emerald as the base for this video since it's the one most people play. Alright, Roxanne has 2 Geodudes at level 12 and a Nosepass at level 15. Let's ditch those Geodudes. In place of one of them, I'm putting an Aeron at level 11. It's got 100 base defense, so if you come at it with physical attacks, nothing is getting through. The second Pokemon we're adding to the team is Lilip. Man, I think fossil Pokemon fit rock type leaders perfectly. Plus, the grass typing helps against water types. Since we're talking about the first gym, just 3 Pokemon is fine, so we'll keep her Nosepass. And her team looks like this. Now let's talk about Broly. Man, looking at his team, I actually like it, because we have 2 Hoenn Pokemon here. He's got a Machop at level 16, a Meditite at 16, and a Makuhita at 19. First off, let's keep his Meditite and bump it up to level 18. But its move pool is pretty trash, with Focus Punch, Light Screen, Reflect, and Bulk Up. I'm just gonna swap the damage move. In its place, I'll add Brick Break. His Makuhita at level 19. We'll keep that too with the same moves. This Pokemon is actually pretty balanced, but now his new ace will be a Breloom at level 23 with Mach Punch, Bulk Up, Mega Drain and Stun Spore. That makes the team way more complete and stronger. Plus, we give some shine to this Pokemon, which is so cool. And his team will also only have 3 Pokemon for now. Okay, now we've reached the old man who gives you a massive headache if you didn't start with Mudkip, Watson. He has a Voltorb at level 20, an Electrode also at 20, Magneton at 22, and Manectric at 24. Honestly, a good team. But since we are at the 3rd gym, I don't want pre-evolutions on the team anymore. I'll keep the Magneton and Manectric. The only change is replacing Shockwave with Thunderbolt. After all, this old guy is the one who gives us that TM in the game. We'll swap his Voltorb for an Electrode at level 24. And before you start yelling at me saying it only evolves at level 30, let's remember that Lance has a Dragonite at level 50, so cheating is allowed. And now his ace is gonna be an Electabuzz. I think this guy fits Watson perfectly, with Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch and Brick Break. Another thing I'd love to do here, even if it doesn't make sense for this generation, would be to add Electric Terrain for the whole battle. In this video, I'm gonna use the gyms themselves to give leaders an advantage, like they're an even bigger challenge. Think about it, Watson's gym is basically a power generator, so starting the battle inside an electric terrain would be sick. Flannery has a pretty cool team. Numel at level 24, Slugma also at 24, Camerupt at 26, and Turkle at 29. A good team, right? Let's upgrade it. Well, in her gym, she uses a glass roof, so the battle starts with Sunny Day already set. Let's swap her Numel for a Magmar, just like Watson's Electabuzz, with Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. Next, we swap her Slugma for a Magcargo. We can keep Camerupt and Turkle. The only change, let's take out Overheat and put in Flamethrower. With the sun out, that move will be enough to wreck our Pokemon. Plus, water attacks will be less effective for 5 turns. I think it turned out pretty cool. Now then, we're past the halfway point and at the 5th gym, the level is gonna spike a bit. Norman, he has a Spinda, Vigoroth, Linoon, and Slaking. Dude, honestly, this Spinda just doesn't cut it. Let's replace it with a Zangoose, with Swords Dance, Aerial Ace to catch fighting types, Quick Attack to try and do something, and a good old Brick Break. In 2nd place, we can keep the Vigoroth with the same moves. Just add Aerial Ace instead of Anchor to catch those fighting types too. I really like Linoon with the Belly Drum strategy, so I'll keep that 2. For his 4th Pokemon, we'll keep Slacking, a Pokemon with legendary stats. Nothing to do here, this guy is a beast. And his ace is gonna be an Ursa Ring. Since we don't have a field advantage here, I'm gonna give this bear the Guts ability, which boosts physical damage by 50% when the Pokemon has a status condition. And to help with that, I'll give it a Flame Orb, which automatically burns it, activating the ability. And on top of that, we'll give it the move Facade, which doubles in power when the Pokemon has a status condition. Basically, my friend, if this bear hits you with one move, it's over. You better bring a Ghost type, or you're gonna get wrecked. Now we've reached the gym that ruined my life, Winona. She has a Swablu level 29, Trapios 29, Pelipper 30, Skarmory 31, and Altaria 33. Hey, remember what I said about cheating? She has an Altaria 33 that only evolves at 35 for us. Okay, her team is actually pretty good, but we can improve it. First off, she installed fans in her gym, which triggers Tailwind right away, so all her Pokemon double their speed for 4 turns from the start. Next, let's swap Swablu for a Swellow. That way we make her team a bit stronger. We'll keep Tropius, but let's bump its level up by 4, making it 33, and we'll do that for all the other Pokemon. Increase all of them by 4 levels. Pelipper is also cool to have here. The only problem is its move pool. Let's put Surf instead of Water Gun, and Rain Dance instead of Supersonic. Skarmory is also perfect here. I really like it. I'm not changing a thing. And to round out the team, let's add Masquerain, a really cool Pokemon we barely see in the game. And finally, her ace, a super strong Altaria with the same moves. We don't need to change anything here. Tate and Lisa. Here in Emerald, they have 4 Pokemon: Claydol, Satu, Lunatone, and Solrock. Honestly, a pretty cool team. At least there are no Kanto Pokemon here. Here, they're total trolls and are gonna start the game with Trick Room, which makes the slowest Pokemon move first. Honestly, we don't need to touch these 4 original Pokemon. They're all very well balanced. We're just gonna add 2 more, starting with Exeggutor. And yeah, here's my hypocrisy. Adding a Kanto Pokemon to take advantage of its low speed in Trick Room. And since we're talking about the penultimate gym, let's throw a Metagross in here to take things to the next level, well equipped with Zen Headbutt, Iron Head, Bullet Punch, and Brick Break to catch those dark types people bring. Honestly, the team looks sick like this. And finally, we've reached the final gym. Since we're talking about Emerald, it's Hoenn, but it could also work for Wallace if you're on Ruby or Sapphire. Another guy with a pretty cool team. Luvdisc, Whiscash, Celio, Cradant, and Kingdra. Here I wanna change a lot, starting by swapping Luvdisc for a Sharpedo with Waterfall, Crunch, and that's it. I really like Whiscash, but in this region, we have a much better Pokemon for that role. Let's swap it for a Swampert with Waterfall and Earthquake. Celio is a good Pokemon, but it has an evolution, so let's just do that. Add a Walrein to the team. Cradant with its Crab Hammer is so cool. I'm not changing anything. Kingdra is simply one of the most broken water types. Let's just swap Water Pulse for Surf. And finally, we're adding a 6th Pokemon. And there's no one better than Milotic itself. Surf, Ice Beam, and you're good to go. The team turned out great. Remember that Hoenn installed Artificial Rain in the gym here, so the match starts with Rain already active. And those were my improvements for the Hoenn leaders. Now I want you to comment what you thought of this video. And if you liked it, I guarantee you'll like this one appearing on the screen even more, because it's simply the best video on the channel.